Hello, welcome back to my channel and to today's video where I am going to be sharing some new in bits both for home and for beauty. However, for you fashion lovers, fret not because there will be a what's new in my wardrobe for summer video coming your way very soon. Now, today's video, there might be some items that perhaps you guys have seen in some of my recent video postings, but perhaps I just haven't been able to talk about them at length, and it's going to give me a chance to answer some of the very frequently asked questions that we've been getting about those as well. So I'm going to start off with the category of beauty first, and my first item, or items, I'm kind of lumping them together, which are the shampoo and conditioner from the brand KLEAN. Right, so as many of you will know, I now live in Kent, which unfortunately is notorious for being a hard water zone. So I do have a lot of issues with my hair when it comes to the hard water in this area. So I made the switch, and I actually made the switch back to KLEAN because this is not the first time that I have tried this product in particular. However, they did change the formula. I'm not so sure how long ago they changed it, but it says on their website that they changed the formula, and I believe I tried the older formula because it wasn't in this same packaging. So this is, I'm just going to read it off the bottle, this is the full length anti-breakage shampoo. It's the shampoo which is specifically designed for hard water or for using on your hair when you're in a hard water area. So this shampoo actually has charcoal in it, and it's specially formulated so that it can strip your hair of any of the hard water crystals, chemicals, minerals, all that kind of stuff that is put into hard water, and it can strip those out of your hair. Unlike a lot of detoxifying shampoos though, it doesn't strip your hair of its natural oils and of its natural moisture. So that's why I prefer using this one versus a lot of the other detoxifying shampoos. And along with the shampoo, I decided to try this, which is the Smooth Talk Dark Hair Anti-Fading Conditioner. This is the first time that I've tried this, and I really like it. Now, the thing is with hard water is not only does it affect the feel of your hair, but if you have dark hair, whether it be dyed like mine or natural, it can give your hair this sort of really brassy tone. And that is something which I do not enjoy. And I just found that I was having to dye my hair, even if it was just the roots or like top sections, I was having to dye it more regularly. So when it comes to the sort of results that I've seen after using these products, and I've been using them for about a month now, I would say, and I definitely need to replace my conditioner sooner than I need to, and I'll probably subscribe to the shampoo, but it's left my hair feeling so much softer. With the conditioner, I've definitely noticed less brassiness in my hair because it is dyed hair, and so therefore I can get that bit of brassiness anyway because it is not a salon dye. I do it myself, but yeah, it definitely feels a lot softer. I can feel that there's none of that hard water buildup in there. So if you do live in a hard water area, I would highly recommend even just giving it a try because they do offer a 100ml bottle as well, so that could be something worth giving a try. Moving on to beauty item number 2, and it is the FOREO FAQ 202 LED face mask. Now you guys might have seen this in it was a cleaning video. What was I cleaning? Oh, it was the deep clean and reorganizing of our utility video. However, I didn't really get to touch on many of the specs, so I thought I'd feature it again in today's video just so I can give you guys a little bit more in-depth information. So I'm about 2 months in with using this now, and I've established myself a very regular routine. So I'm using this 5 days a week, normally Monday to Friday, because that is the routine that I've got myself into, and I use it for 15 minutes every day. So the FAQ 202 is made from silicone, as you will see, which has a few different benefits. So it's lightweight, hygienic, and it's very flexible, and this is the most important part because it molds to your face shape, because let's face it, not everyone has the same face shape. Now, by moulding to your face, this then optimises the effects of the LED lights because you've got even light coverage. And because it's wireless, that makes it portable. So I can just pop it on when I'm going about my normal day-to-day tasks. It's not the kind of thing that you have to sit still and relax and have a spa moment in, although you can do that as well. So it's really good for fitting into busy lives. And when it comes to the LED, it has 8 different wavelengths, including NIR, which is near infrared. So these all display in different colours, and when you're using the app which connects to the mask, you can cycle through each of the wavelengths and choose your desired treatment and create your own, depending on your personal skin concerns. So, for example, I like using the red LED for diminishing signs of aging. This is great for reducing the appearance of lines, and then combined with the NIR, near infrared, which you can toggle on and off for every single wavelength, that also reduces the appearance of sunspots and pigmentation, and again targets wrinkles and sagging. So after 2 months of use, the changes that I've seen in my skin are definitely that it is less dull. It just seems brighter, especially when I have no makeup or anything on my skin. I just feel like I've got more of a healthy glow. Signs of aging, so any fine lines, wrinkles, sunspots, they are definitely improving and diminishing in appearance. Also, my pores around certain areas here, I have slightly larger pores, or at least I did. Those are becoming more minimized. And the final one, this is something that I've started to struggle with a little bit later on in life, could be perimenopause, approaching that kind of area in life, and that is that I do get a few more blemishes now, and it's only the odd one, often around certain times of the month. But if I do get a blemish, I have noticed that that's healing so much quicker than it used to. And that's because LED light therapy actually helps re-strengthen the different layers of skin and therefore enhances the skin's natural healing process. So that's why I literally will get a blemish and it will be gone 2 days later. So I think it is safe to say that overall I'm getting on really well with my FAQ 202, and of course I will keep you guys updated with my progress, especially now that I've got myself into a really regular Monday to Friday routine with using it. Now, if this is something that interests you, you can get a very rare 30% off. We're going to pop a code on screen now, and also, just for your reference, down below in the description box, along with a link. And not only does it apply to the FAQ 202, but this applies to absolutely any device or product on the FOREO website. Right, okay, moving on to beauty item number 3, and I don't actually have anything to pick up and show you because this is laser hair removal. Now, there are a few reasons why I decided to get this done. It's actually something I'd wanted to get done for ages, but I kept putting it off for one reason or another. Number one is that I have some sensory issues that come with my neurodiversity, and one of those is body hair. I find it incredibly irritating and itchy. I will scratch my legs. I fortunately don't scratch my crotch, but I will. And this only happens when my underarm, if my underarm hair were allowed to grow a certain part. So it's not a shaving irritation, it is actually when the hair starts to grow. I will scratch my underarms without realising because I just find it irritating until they are red raw. And I might just do it when I'm sat watching the telly. I'll be there like this. Again, fortunately, I don't sit there scratching my crotch, can you imagine? You couldn't take me anywhere in public if that were the case. Second fold to that was to just save me a bit of time. I'm all about cutting time, the length of time it takes to do things. I like to reduce that as much as possible. And I think, and I'm generalising here in a big way, but when you factor in a lot of the things that a lot of us women do when it comes to our appearance, hair, dyeing, cutting, styling, washing, or nails, hair removal, tanning, all these different things that we do when it comes to beautifying, not only does it cost a lot of money, but it is so time consuming. Now, I have had waxing done in the past. By no means did I have it done regularly. It was more so like a holiday kind of preparation thing. So my go-to hair removal method of choice would have been shaving. And when you think about how long it takes, there's the exfoliation, then there's the shaving cream, then there's the actual shaving itself and all the different positions you've got to get into. It's so time consuming. It takes like a 5 to 7 minute shower. For me, up to a 20-minute shower. And I just wanted to reduce that, and so therefore that is why I chose to go and investigate laser hair removal. So where have I chosen to get my hair removal done? Well, I have opted for a chain clinic, which is called Therapy, spelt with an IE at the end, and they have a location at Bluewater. I believe they have 53 locations in the UK in total. But as I said, I go to the Bluewater location. That for me is quite convenient. I can get some lunch while I'm there. I can mooch around the shops. It's a good place to spend a day or even a morning or an afternoon or whatever. So that for me was convenient. Only takes me about 35-40 minutes to get to, so that was why that was a good option for me. And when it comes to cost, I actually signed up for a deal which was classed as a special offer. Sometimes I don't know how special offer these special offers are, but it was £700 and 10p, which is a lot of money. I'm not going to shy away from that fact, but I think when you add up, if you're a regular waxer, those are very expensive. Or if you add up razors, hair removal cream, epilators, whatever form, if you add all those up over a certain period of time, it is a lot of money. So I'm hoping that this is going to reduce the amount that I spend overall, because you are only supposed to need 10 sessions and then potentially 1 or maybe 2 top-ups a year. Of course, it varies from person to person. So for my £700 and 10p, I have 3 areas. I have legs, bikini, and you can have as much as in all of it. You can go full Hollywood, including crack. You can have as much or as little off as you like, but you do have to shave 24 hours before your appointment. So basically whatever you can shave off, you can get zapped off by that laser. So I've got legs, underarms and bikini included in my package, and I have 10 sessions for that £700 and 10p. And as I've already mentioned, I am only 1 session in. You have to have 6 weeks between each session. So mine isn't going to be finished until later on in the year. So I can't really comment on any sort of success that I've had so far. However, I can say that I have noticed the hair that is growing back is a little bit thinner, and it definitely looks a little bit more sparse. Right, moving on to my 4th and final beauty item, and it is the Sweet Pistachio fragrance from the Discover range at Marks and Spencer. Now, I have quite a few of these fragrances. I discovered them last year. I know they became a bit of a hype thing, but I was recommended these by my mum actually. And I have a few of the different scents, but this one was one that was released new for this year. Or was it? Funnily enough, Sweet Pistachio, for anyone that is a fan of these Discover fragrances, was actually Sunset, which was a limited edition fragrance, one of 2. There was Sunrise, I believe, and Sunset. These were released last summer in both the smaller 30ml bottles and the larger 100ml bottles, because all of the Discover and the Discover Intense fragrances from M&S come in those 2 bottle sizes. Now, as the name would suggest, it is quite a sweet fragrance. So of course there are notes of pistachio in there, but also tuberose and tonka. Now, tonka is a scent which is very, very similar to vanilla, so some people might find this a little bit too sweet and sickly for their liking. However, I love this, and I can't particularly say that I have a signature scent. I've always loved Le Labo Santal 33. However, I do have a real mix, and fragrances are something that I collect. So I like fresh fragrances, citrus, sweet ones, woody and earthy. So I have a real mix, and I would just wear them depending on my mood and even sometimes depending on my outfit. But this, I would say, is a really good, either just a summer fragrance or a perfect fragrance clearance for a holiday. Right, that is the beauty category done. We're now going to move over to the new in bits for home, and I'm going to start off with the first item, which again I don't have to show you because they're too big, but that is solar panels. So back in February, Simon and I had solar panels fitted. This was something that we'd been talking about for a couple of months and researching. We had someone over to come and assess, give us all the info, etc. And then when we got our price, which is going to be different for everyone, and I will leave price details down below in the description box for you guys. But when we got our price, we talked about it and decided it was something we wanted to go ahead with. The main reason for that is to just try and reduce monthly outgoings on bills. For anyone living in the UK, and I'm sure there's probably other countries experiencing the same kind of thing, but energy bills have been rising consistently and rapidly over the last couple of years. And so we just wanted to try and alleviate some of that monthly pressure. Now, granted, of course, solar panels is going to come with a bigger upfront cost, and it will take a few years in order for that to sort of even out and for them to become worth it. But I just thought I'd share a little bit of our experience thus far since having them fitted. So to give you guys just a brief overview of how many panels we have 16 panels, 8 on each side of our pool house, which is an external building separate to our main house. The reason we did that is because the roof is straight. Our house is a converted bungalow, so there's odd angles here, there and everywhere, which just made it not really appropriate for having solar panels fitted. Fortunately, we have that external building, so we have 8 on each side and they get sun pretty much all day round. So we have not actually paid for any electricity since March, and of course March was really when the sun started to show itself again after the winter months. So since having them installed, the most electric that we've generated in a single day is 32 kilowatts, and of course that being a nice sunny day, the least electric that we've generated on a single day is 6 kilowatts. That's when it's a bit cloudy and overcast. So thus far, we're really happy with the decision that we've made, but of course it's only been a few months so far. We've still got a summer to come, and hopefully we'll have a nice sunny one so that we can be electricity cost-free and generating all of our own electric. Now, we are still in the process of setting up our account so that we can export any surplus energy back to the grid. So I can't comment on that just yet, but hopefully that will be something that I'll be able to share more on in the future. Moving on now to rugs. So back in March, I shared a spring home refresh video. I tend to do these with every season. And in that video, you'll have seen that I added some new rugs to our home. The primary reason for that is the dogs. The dogs are now seniors. We have 4 of them. They're Chihuahuas. They have little legs, and those little legs are not quite as steady as what they used to be. And our entire ground level, bar our rugged areas, is hard flooring. So just to give them a bit more stability and stop them from what I say skidding when they're skidding about on the floor, I just wanted to make that life a little bit easier for them, because they still are full of energy. They love to charge around, and so they don't always consider their own safety. So the rugs that you would have seen in that video, I opted for a couple of different kinds. So primarily I got a lot of jute rugs, and a lot of the questions that I get asked when it comes to jute rugs is their compatibility with having pets. Now, I know this might seem like a really odd decision, but actually they're not super compatible with having pets. They're woven, so pets' claws can get stuck in them, and they are not easy to clean in any way, shape or form. But for me, there had to be some sort of compromise in there, because jute rugs are quite inexpensive to buy, shall we say. The jute runner rug that I got was about £30, and it is all natural fibres. So if it's something that then has to be, thrown away, at least it's going to decompose. Now, the other sort of rug that I got was a ruggable rug. Now, these are actually not very inexpensive. These are, I would definitely say, expensive, and their main sort of target when it comes to their marketing is that these rugs are perfect for pet owners. Now, what I did was buy a couple of different options of the smallest size of rug that's not classed as a doormat, but I'm actually using them as a doormat. And the reason that I bought these was A, because they were the cheaper option in order for me to be able to try them out before buying any larger ones. So we could eventually, if we actually like them, we could end up getting some longer runner rugs to replace any of the dupe ones as they kind of wear out, or even any of the larger area rugs that we have in our larger spaces. Now, since filming the spring home refresh video, I have washed the ruggable rug that I bought and that came out beautiful. But I do have concerns as to whether I would actually be able to fit a larger area size in our washing machine. We have an 11 kilogram washing machine, which is actually larger than average here in the UK, but I am a little bit concerned on how easy it would be to wash and dry a larger area rug. So if you are a ruggable area rug size owner, if you have any experience, preferably in the UK, because we have a different kind of washing machine to those top loading US washing machines. If you have any experience washing one of those rugs in your own home and drying it so that it's crease free, then I would love to hear your feedback. So let me know down in the comments below. Next up is our home prints. So home prints are something that you will have seen in pretty much every single one of the home refresh videos that I film seasonally. I've said before, it's a really good way to kind of update a room, along with things like cushion covers, you know, small little details. You can give them a very sort of seasonal change just by swapping out these small little details. So today I kind of wanted to answer some of the frequently asked questions that I get asked about our prints, because I did get some new ones for this spring season. So the prints that I buy are digital. That is the first thing that is probably the most important thing to mention. When you order one of those prints that I list down in the description box, you are not going to receive the print. It is a digital file, so you do have to get them printed yourself. My personal choice of printing company, if you will, is just the online company Vistaprint. You can get things printed in bulk there, which is obviously what they're most known for businesses, but you can also get just individual items done as well. And one thing that I've often found is that Vistaprint often do special offers throughout the year, so I will usually just wait for one of those offers, and that is when I will order my prints, either for a season or sometimes potentially for the next couple of seasons. And I'll order so many that it then takes me over the threshold where I also get free delivery. And now finally, artificial trees. Yes, there is a reason why this tree has been perched next to me for the duration of this video. This is one of the newer artificial trees that I've bought, and I am not ashamed to admit that I haven't always been a fan of artificial greenery. I think over the years, especially since living here, I've definitely warmed to it a lot more. And there's actually a lot more realistic options than I think people are aware of, and they don't all cost an absolute fortune. Now, by no means am I saying that this tree looks 100% real. When you get up close, it's the same as an artificial Christmas tree. You can definitely tell that it's not real, but I think for placing in certain rooms and for just giving that sort of overall aesthetic, I think they work really well. And of course, the pro of them is that they require no maintenance. Of course, you can give them a bit of a dust down, wipe down the leaves, but they don't need watering. So it is impossible to kill an artificial tree. So this is a black olive tree, which is also known as a shady lady. Now we have these along with just standard but artificial olive trees in the house. I kind of love the standard ones because they have that more sort of muted green colour leaves, whereas this black olive tree, the leaves are definitely a more sort of bolder and vibrant green. However, the difference between the two, this one actually has more branches spread out down the main trunk. So it almost does a better job at filling more of a blank space, whereas the normal olive trees, obviously, they have the skinnier trunk and then they bush out a little bit at the top. So that's one of the reasons why I actually bought this one, and that's just to fill a little bit more of the sort of bottom wall space as well as the top. And I know they're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but they are very, very low maintenance. You cannot kill an artificial tree, so therefore they are a winner for me. Right, there we go. That is everything that I wanted to cover in today's video. Just a reminder of that FOREO 30% off discount, which of course I will pop down below in the description box for you. And also another reminder that I will have that what's new in my wardrobe for summer fashion video coming up, I think at the very start of June. But for now, that's it from me. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time.